Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Sleepless Ninja. Today is kind of a somewhat little special day for me and Sleepless Ninja because it's been a full month of daily video posts. I hope there'll be many more and that I can keep up with this and be able to create more content and fulfill all your video requests and answer all your questions. So I thought, since it's been a month, and since I've had the Xoom for almost a month and a half, to kind of go back and kind of do a recap of the Xoom, my general thoughts of it after having it for this long, and kind of a review of the Xoom. So overall, let's start with the general feeling of the Xoom. And it's kind of dark just because of the way that the camera is. But if you can see my hands, it's very, very comfortable to hold. Even I'm using a Portfolio, and I'm sorry about the darkness, but the Portfolio does a pretty great job at protecting the screen and holding the Xoom in the Portfolio. Feels natural, and being able to fold the Xoom up and be able to prop it up all using the Portfolio is great. So the general hold and feel, it just feels like the right device to hold with your hands like this. On top of that, the power button and the volume buttons, it's pretty natural to press that power button. There are complaints. I see a lot of people complaining about it. I think it's very natural to use your finger and press a button behind because you're holding it behind. And I don't know if you can see my fingers exactly, but you can see I'm holding this device like this, and my finger is here and here, and the power button is right there. So it feels natural, since I'm gripping it like that, to hold it like that, and then to use your thumbs to navigate. So this is how I generally use the Xoom, and like the Xoom has a bunch of customizable interfaces to really take advantage of the thumbs, but I'll get into that into a second. But you know, the power button's great. I think it's a plus. Some people who hold it like landscape, I can understand having to search for the power button can be a little pain in the butt, but honestly, it's right where the Motorola is, right under Motorola, and it's not really hard to identify that there, besides having a hard button on the front screen, which I don't like. I like the fact that the front screen's flat, there's no buttons, it's just the screen, and then behind Motorola, the little Motorola mark at the top, I don't know if you can see it, it's right here. That's where the button is. But enough about that, let's move on to the volume. Volume, they're kind of a tad bit, I think it's just a combination of being a little bit too small and a little too difficult, a little bit too much pressure to push in. So there, you know, I have a little bit of complaints. Overall, it's fine, but I wish it could be a little bit easier to press the volume up and on. It's definitely not as easy as, for instance, my Droid phone to turn the volume up and down is just intuitive. Where here just requires a little bit more pressure. As far as all the other externals, having the head jack up there is pretty nice. Just plug it in, listen. And then on the bottom, I know, again, it's difficult to see, but you can somewhat see the video out and the power and the USB are all located there. And with propping up on the Portfolio, this is another gripe that I have. So I do have negativity, of course. It's not a perfect device, but you can see as it's propped up, and oh, well, I actually cannot get access to the power. I cannot get access to the USB. So if I plug it in, I have to stack it on top, and it's not stable. It can flop over. So issues with that. But overall, the design is nice. It fits perfectly in my hand. If I'm not charging it, if I'm not plugging it in to the computer, and I'm just holding it, it's a perfect fit. Absolutely perfect fit. So, you know, when booting it up, unlock the screen, and you have this thumb position. And this is where the user interface comes in. And I think this is one of the greatest features of the Xoom. Customizable user interface. You've probably never seen a screen like this on the Xoom. You kind of see the default clock and a couple of email widgets and iChat down the bottom, and that's like the default look that you see on the preview, on the box, and the stock Motorola picture of the Xoom. But here I have customizable date and time, my battery indicator, the day, the temperature based on my location, and of course a little bit of Sleepless Ninja flavor. And then the thing that I really like is able to have these widgets where the applications become this kind of circular around my thumb, so I'm easily to quickly select an application of my favor with my thumb and not leave this very natural position of holding my Xoom, which is in this widescreen format. It's very comfortable to hold it like this and view and hold it in front of you, and to be able to just quickly tap without moving your hand to the middle or anything. You're just holding your Xoom and be able to have all the power in your hands. You don't need to root your Xoom, you don't need to unlock it. This is just here, and you can take advantage of it with a couple of widgets that are provided. This type of interface is minimalistic text, and these are Circle Launcher Pro. But it's really this huge plus. You control and can design your interface to the way that you like it. Now, I personally do not own an iPad, never owned an iPad. I own a MacBook Pro. I've owned a MacBook in the past. I am somewhat of an Apple guy, I guess. I do my video editing for this blog on my MacBook Pro. I use Final Cut and iMovie, and I love it. So I'm not dissing Mac. And because I've never had an iPad, I can't really speak on behalf of it. I've used it a couple times, but the interface seems kind of bland. You got your icons all in a row, and then a couple quick ones at the bottom. You can't really play with this type of thing unless, I guess, you unlock the phone or something like that. Correct? If I'm correct, please tell me if I'm wrong. But here you can really just customize your interface the way that you like it and the way that you feel. And not only does this device also become an expression of yourself, but it becomes something that you can really use and utilize in an interface that works best for you. Whether you want to have it and hold it like this way, or maybe you want an interface that's based off of a portrait mode, which you can see I also have it customized for my thumbs holding in and being able to quick select apps. Things that really I like is to be able to see the date and the time and the battery and all that right there. Some people might like that, not like that. So I kind of provided another demo of what you can do. Like, this is a completely different interface, and this could be someone's home screen. This was sort of my home screen for a while, and you can see here is my mail, and right at your fingertips. And that really, really, you have to think about that. Information right at your fingertips. You can see your mail from your home screen. You can see your appointments from your home screen. You can have your bookmarks and go through them and quickly go to your bookmark from the home screen. The time, big, in display, not hid up in the corner on the bottom, on your home screen. Your folders, you can have a file system. You do not have to root your Xoom. You can hook up your Xoom to your computer and upload files onto your Xoom in a file system that you desire. You want to create documents, you want to create documents for a certain project, school, divide it up into classes. You can do all that, and you can put a documents folder on your Xoom, click, and then go to that folder and see your documents. And it's sort of, and you can, in using like Astro, you can go through your documents, and you can go through your file system, and you can see all of your folders, organize it, and really have this way and control over your system. It's all about this user interface and this usability. I do not think you can do that on an iPhone or an iPad. I'm pretty sure unless you have it unlocked you cannot do this. And, you know, unlocking, that's common, because in Android we have to root, and we can unlock some features that we don't necessarily have, which I can understand. But Android, right from the get-go, you don't have to go to this one application that suits everything for file transfers and installing applications and controlling your device. You can just plug your device, grab what you want, like you were plugging in a flash drive, transfer the files that you want. You can even wirelessly transfer files to your Xoom using like an FTP client. Check that out. I have a video on it. So I spent a lot of time on this interface because I think it's what really differentiates the Xoom. Now, of course, something like this has its drawbacks. The fact is, you need more system, you need more performance to be able to do something like this. So it does draw a lot more of the CPU. It's not hardware accelerated yet, so it doesn't really use the GPU, but that is to come. And we'll even improve the widgets more. So there are drawbacks, and the reason why Apple doesn't want to do that is because they don't want to take away from the performance. And that's another key feature that I think iPad has. Does it work? And I think that's why iPad just is in the situation. It works. It works. Does this work? For the most part, yes. There are flaws. There's some apps that force close. There's sometimes something freezes, but you know what? It happens on my MacBook. Sometimes the browser crashes. Sometimes iMovie crashes. Sometimes I run out of memory when I'm editing in Final Cut. You know, it's something that I as a person have come to know. I find it hard to believe that an iPad or an iPhone would never come across this. There's got to be some person that has to hard reset their phone or their tablet at one point or another. Does this happen often? Yeah. Does it happen on a day-to-day basis? Not really. But there are some times when things just don't work. They'll force close on you. You'll have to restart, open the app, and then continue what you were doing. Is it a pain in the butt? Sometimes. But overall, this is a grand experience. So, let's, sorry about this. I'm going to have to blur it out just because personal information. But, you know, if we go to a website, web browsing, for instance, you know, we load these beautiful websites, and it loads them very fast. It does a very good job. And then the key thing, Flash. Flash works. Flash does a very, very, very good job at running. And you can check up past videos to really confirm this. I want to kind of fit all the time in wisely. But to be able to have Flash is nice. I don't like going to a news article and seeing that there's a Flash video attached to it and not be able to see that video. So I don't know how people on their iPads or iPhones actually deal with that. It'd be interesting to see. But to be able to open up and see a Flash video and have it work, I feel is a great feature. And it works. I was a little disgruntled at the beginning because some things didn't work, but it seemed like everything has been picking up and doing a great job. And I think, you know, everyone goes in, oh, apps, 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 apps. You know, third-party apps can come and go. Developers can always hop on board. This is something that's new. This is a pioneer in the tablet space. This is a first iteration of an operating system. Of course they're not going to have all the application support. Third party comes and go. But look at first party. Look at who is doing this. This is Google. They provide a lot of great services. Gmail, GChat, Google Maps. I mean, these are services that people on iPhone use. So what does that say? Google provides great services. Think about first-party applications first, because that is what this is going to be catered to. This has an amazing Google Maps. You know, this has great Google Navigator to be able to navigate to different places in the interface. It's phenomenal. What is the iPhone's primary first-party navigation tool? It doesn't have one. You have to buy a third-party app. So when you think about that, and you can think about Google provides these web services, think only more is to come. And that's the key. More is to come. Alright everyone, I hope you enjoyed this. Please let me know what you feel. Happy 1 month anniversary. Have a great day. Thank you for viewing.